good afternoon to everybody. This is Bleeder599 here. And today I'm going to be addressing a video made by somebody called... what's his name? Oh yeah. Made by a creationist called Jesse8857. The name of the video is Atheism, Scientifically Impossible. The premise is simply this, that atheism is scientifically impossible. Now, we've been doing, the human race has been doing science for centuries now, and we've gotten pretty good at it. And there is a way to go about doing science. There is a way to go about proving your hypothesis. And it's not the way that my opponent goes about it. Jesse8857 attempts to demonstrate that atheism is scientifically impossible through attempting to disprove the four theories that he claims, the only four theories that he claims atheists have available to them. So there are a couple of things wrong already. As I said, we've been doing science for a very long time, we've gotten very good at it, and this is not the way to do science. This is not... turn my fan down a little bit so that you can hear me. This is not how you do science. This is not how you prove a hypothesis, which is what this is. God is a hypothesis attempting to explain reality. To explain why we're here, how life began, everything that we don't already know, basically. Good old God with gaps. Yes, there is a correct way to prove a hypothesis. You state your premises, you support these premises through argument and evidence, and defend them from counter-argument and evidence. And this is how it's done. This is how we do it. It's not done in the manner that Jesse wants to do it. Jesse thinks that by disproving everything else, he proves his option right, which is incorrect. The most he can do is prove these four arguments incorrect. He does not prove his hypothesis, and he's not going to convince anyone who takes what is, in my view, the only rational position, the position of we don't know how the universe came into being. No one on this earth, Christian or atheist, scientist or Scientologist, knows how our universe began. And anyone who says otherwise is a fool, to put it simply. But what are these four arguments that he says are the atheist's only positions, the only positions that an atheist can hold? They are as follows. 1, that the universe came from nothing. 2, that the universe created itself. 3, that the universe came from another universe. And 4, that the universe is eternal. These are the arguments that he claims are the only four positions that an atheist can hold. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a straw man. What is a straw man? A straw man is when you distort your opponent's position into something that you can easily defeat, usually because you can't defeat his actual position. And this is exactly what we see here. I don't know many atheists who take any of these positions. Most of them take what I believe is the only rationally sound option to take, which is that with the data we have available, with the evidence currently at our disposal and our limited knowledge of the universe, we cannot say how the universe began. The most we can do is speculate at this moment in time. Some speculations have more weight behind them than others, but that's it. That is as far as we can go. It's an interesting show of good old religious modesty. You know, religious modesty that isn't like modesty at all. It's actually the total opposite of it. What's that word on it? Oh yeah, arrogance. Religious arrogance, that's the one. Because I've never heard an atheist say that there cannot be a God. We cannot say it's a common misunderstanding of my fellow atheists and myself. It cannot be said that no such being could not exist. This is not the atheist position. The atheist position is simply this: that of the many gods that have ever been put forward as a hypothesis for explaining that which we don't already know, there has never been any evidence. There's never been any good evidence put forward to support it, nor has there been any argument made without convincing rebuttal. And yet we have a creationist Christian, I know he's a Christian, saying that atheism is absolutely impossible. Now what this means, what he has to do to sustain this belief is show to an absolute certainty that God exists. Any God exists. A deity of some description can be proven to a certainty to exist. And as I've already said, you don't do that by attempting to disprove the positions that you claim your opponent holds. Even if you could successfully disprove them all. Even if you could, it gets you no further to proving the existence of any God, never mind the one that you happen to follow, from a potentially infinite list. Now, if you want to put forward the idea of God as a scientific idea, which you must do if you're to claim that atheism is scientifically impossible, that must mean that your God is scientifically certain. Now, if you want to do that, do it in the way that science has been doing it for centuries. Put forth your arguments, back them with evidence, and defend them from criticism. And if you can do that, if you can successfully back your arguments with empirical evidence and defend them from criticism of others, only that can prove your God is real and prove that atheism is in fact scientifically impossible, which I assure you it is not.